welcome to another episode of Lie, Cheat, and Steal, the podcast about liars, frauds, thieves, and bullshitters. I'm your host, Pat Royce. Just to let you guys know, we are a bi-monthly podcast, so we're dropping 2 episodes every month. You can go and check out. If you like what you hear, please check us online. We are at Lie, Cheat, Steal Podcast on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. You can check us out there for clips from the show and other cool things. Also, if you really like what you hear and you want to hear some more, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/lie, cheat, and steal. That is where you can go and get 2 more episodes every month that are completely ad-free, and you can also get access to ad-free episodes that are in the current feed. Also, access to our Discord server, a very fun place to be and chat with like-minded individuals about scams. That being said, I'm here with my co-host, Kath Barbadoro. Kath, how you doing?
Hi, Pat. I'm good. Why do you gesture to yourself when you say bullshitters? Was that a subconscious choice, or is that... You kind of did. You
did,
said,
huh?
Yeah. What is it? Frauds, thieves.
Liars,
I can't
frauds,
remember.
thieves,
I'm
and
so tired.
Liars, frauds,
You said
thieves,
liars,
and
frauds, thieves, and bullshitters. Like you really.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I've been laying it on thick today. Maybe I've been in my mode. I don't know. That is weird. I guess we'll figure it out.
I like your shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Pat's got a sick abolish ice shirt with an ice dispenser on fire graphic on it. Pretty tight.
Thank you very much. I saw it. It spoke to me. I don't normally wear clothing with a message, but I was like, it's pretty fucking cool. So I think I'll go ahead and
cool
grab
looking
it.
though too.
Yeah.
Even if you don't see the message right away, it just looks like a cool drawing, and then you're like, tight.
Hell yeah. Yeah, guys, if you want a glimpse at this, go check us out on our YouTube channel. That is
that's
at
right.
Lie, Cheat, Steal Podcast. So that's what I got. So I'm I don't know. Yeah, that's very weird about the full of shit thing. Now it's got me thinking. I'm wondering if I told any lies. I finally, you guys might have heard me bitch about this. There's a parking garage right next to here that never takes my card. And usually I got to try it like 15 times and it works. And today it just didn't work. And I think that was my last straw with those guys. Because I got here 30 minutes early. And then I dealt with parking and walked in here at like 3 minutes till recording time. So.
Yeah, that they don't deserve your money, man. Fix your card thing.
They don't. It's still relatively recent, just like buying parking when I go downtown, because for years, in like the grand scheme of thing, for as long as I've been going to the downtown in Austin, Texas, I would just park 15 blocks away or take an Uber. So like paying for parking down here and making a habit of it is on a lifetime scale is still pretty recent. And so I don't know. I don't like it. How's your day going, Kath? What are things going on in your end of the world?
I'm beat today. I'm so tired. School started again, so like the students are back, and it's like orientation week, which means there's like free food everywhere, but it's all just like bread. It's all just like it's different like bagels and pizza and like stuff like that. And I've just been like running events all day and stuff, and so I think I have eaten the equivalent of about at least a loaf of bread, probably like a loaf and a half of bread. That's like pretty much all I've eaten today is bread. Is like I had like a bagel and a half and a slice of pizza and a slice of coffee cake. Like I've just been a monster today. That is the most New
York assortment of carbs.
Yeah. New York is like really ground zero for like cheap carbs. If you're eating cheap here, it's gonna be a lot of carbs. It's the only one I'm really missing that's like a classic cheap New York carb food. Well, there's 2. There's dumplings are always really cheap. Get some Chinese dumplings, and then Jamaican beef patties, which are like, those are like $2, and it's like, why? After you have a Jamaican beef patty, I'm like, why would you ever eat a Hot Pocket again?
Yeah,
like these are like a Hot Pocket but good, and also they're a Hot Pocket but like not trashy. You're like, I'm cultured because I'm eating like food from another ethnicity or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if I'm weird in this episode, it's because I'm really sleepy and I've eaten a loaf of bread today.
Hell yeah. I started this thing at work. I've been eating a bag of fruit because we have a taco truck, and it's easy to just delete all the calories you're burning on the construction site. It's easy to just delete them hoes and just shovel down like 3 al pastor, at lunch.
Dude.
And so I started doing this thing where I eat like a little bacon, egg, and cheese deal for the first break, and then it's bag of fruit, for lunch, and it's good. I like it, but by the end of the day, sometimes I get in a fucking mood, and I'm usually a pretty chilled out guy, and I'll just be like kind of like hangry towards the end of the day for to use a super millennial term, but Other than that though, I'm liking the calorie intake. One guy though, I was at work, I was walking up the stairs, and the dude that I work with, who has like the personality of a wet sock. I hate the guy, and no, I don't hate him. He bugs me sometimes, and he starts walking next to me, and he was like, "Oh, you working off lunch?" And I was like, "Well, I just had a bag of fruit." He goes, "Oh, dude, that's just pure sugar." And I was like, "Shut up." I hate when people say that about fruit, because he was like, "Dude, you're just eating pure sugar." I was like, "Show me one guy that got fat off a bag of watermelon slices." Like,
yeah, it's like it pure sugar. It pisses me off with fruit, because it's like, fruit is not pure sugar. Fruit is like 10% sugar and 90% water.
Yeah, it's just
water, not sugar. Like, I get it if like, juice isn't good for you, but like, eat some fucking fruit. Relax.
Yeah.
What are you switching up the fruit every day? Like, bag of fruit, it could be so many things.
Yeah. Kath, I'd prefer to not go any further. Bag of fruit. I said what I said. Damn, I didn't know you were going to get in my business. No, it was watermelon. It's usually watermelon, cantaloupe, and pineapple is what they have in there.
So it's like cut up.
Yeah, it's cut up in little chunks, and they have them there, and it's good. I do throw some tahini in there, and I shake it up in the bag, and then I just eat that, and I get back to work.
Yum.
And it's good, but on a 10-hour day, by the end of the day, I'll get back in my car, and I will make an irresponsible eating choice if I don't get straight the hell home. So like, that's how hungry I am. I can just eat my steering wheel.
You're like racing it home to like before you stop at Wendy's or Terry's or something. Yeah, totally. That is, I mean, and that is, in that sense, fruit is a pure sugar in the sense that it like, it's gonna tip you over.
Yeah.
It's gonna crash. But I totally know that feeling of like racing it home, where you're like, if I reach a point of hunger on this, I am about to eat 1,500 calories now, and like everything I did earlier will not matter.
Yeah.
I've just been I've been eating like a maniac lately, which I like. The way I think about it, I'm sorry if people are like, trigger warning for a minute or two if calorie talk and weight loss talk bums you out, which I understand. But like, I take it because I've been in a calorie deficit for like a really long time, and every once in a while I'm just like, I cannot stick to this. Like I'm just like, I'm going off the rails. And when that happens, I'm just like, that means I shouldn't be in a calorie deficit right now. Like my body is telling me that this is not working, and so like I just need to set my goal higher for like a week and then mellow the fuck out, and then I can go back into trying to lose weight. But it's like, if I just like have to fight myself to do it that hard, it's like, it's probably not good for me to do it then. Like if my body is really this mad at me and is making me eat a loaf of bread, like how about I just eat more calories of regular food instead of
that's like I burn a lot of calories, and I also have my shit set up to like every day where I do 700 active on the move ring, and that's kind of high, but I put in like if I have the right day at work and I stick to the stairs and don't take the freight elevator, like
you can clear that easy.
I can clear that easy. And so like, but I'll find myself where it's like, okay, be real with yourself, talking like you're burning a lot of calories to the point where if you don't start eating, you're gonna be a bitch, and you're not gonna feel good. It's not like like you're not supposed to feel bad.
It's bad for you.
Yeah, it's bad for you.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
who knows,
bag
man?
Of fruit.
Yeah. Bag of fruit. Oh, you ever eat? I thought of this the other day. You ever be like so tired you eat like a big ass sandwich? You're like, I gotta speed home and take a nap. I've been on the opposite of that, where like I stopped by Jimmy John's after work and just did damage, and now I'm on Mopac and I'm like all sleepy, and I'm like, I just want to go home and sleep.
I had a big home.
Yeah, I just like go over the cones into the fucking express lane and just fly home, and I'm like, I'm so fucking full. I'm tired. It's okay.
That's how I am today. I got home from fucking bagel pizza party and I took a nap. I never nap. I took a nap. So I'm all weird today.
Did you put any of that pizza on a bagel so you could have pizza anytime?
I did not. I could only have them separately. I could not have pizza anytime.
Because when it's all well, you know what? You can't have everything. Speaking of just the just the harsh downsides of transactional reality, like not being able to have everything. I wanted to talk today. So I had hit you up about possibly doing a political episode, and I had asked like, maybe I was like, would a Cuomo episode be weird because he had that scam thing going on with his with
very corrupt.
Yeah, with his consulting firm, and I was like, that might be fun. If the reporting is out on it, because here's the thing, guys, we're not beat reporters. I got to wait on other more qualified people to find facts, and I can regurgitate them to you with jokes. But so I was like, well, I wanted to do something. And there's something that I learned about recently that I was like, I knew about these guys. And then I saw James Tallarico, who is a Texas Democrat, who I actually met at a bar a few months ago, about 2 months ago, and saw him sitting there having a beer with somebody. And I was like, hey, man, keep giving him hell. Keep doing what you're doing. He was super
you
cool.
recognized him.
Yeah, I recognized him. And that guy rules.
Oh.
And he went on Rogan recently, and he had a clip that went kind of viral where he was like, there's 2 billionaires in the state of Texas who control all of the politics, and they're Christian nationalists. And I was like, I've heard about these guys, because you remember we did the episode about the Cisco Santa Claus Christmas Day bank robbery in Cisco, Texas? Yeah, so I was doing a show in that town, and Andrew Wagner, buddy of the show, went and saw that historical thing, was like, you should do an episode about this. And then later, I was talking to a guy about our podcast, and he goes, you should do one about that weird-ass church they started out here. And I was like, what pray tell is that? And so this is a whole kind of just like a analyzation of everybody who's behind the things that I talked about. These are 2 guys by the name of Tim Dunn and Ferris Wilks. And they are, and this is about just the kind of the black money that's like dark, untraceable money that's running Texas politics, and all the things these guys are doing to push an admittedly just crazy agenda that they have. And
so are these the 2 billionaires that run everything, or is this one of the 2?
This is both of them. One of them is the guy who started this church that I was going to talk about, and the other, but both of them are involved in this political push. So I want to talk today about Tim.
So who's the other billionaire? Then?
Tim Dunn and Ferris Wilks are the name of the guys.
Okay,
so it's 2 guys.
That's what I meant. Yeah. It's those 2 guys.
Yes, Tim Dunn and Ferris Wilks. And it's not very fun guys for his names who sound like Tim Duncan and Ferris Wheels.
Tim Duncan and Ferris Wheels.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day. Yeah, so that's what I want to talk about today. These guys, if you don't live in the state of Texas, you may not have heard of Tim Dunn and Ferris Wilks.
I live there and I haven't heard of them.
Yeah, I lived there and I didn't hear about them until recently. Once, like a couple years ago, it was about that church. I didn't know it was these guys. And so if you live in Texas, you may not have heard of them. But whether you do or do not call Texas home, you've certainly heard of their political maneuverings, and there's a good chance that you've felt the effects as well. So Ferris Wilks and Tim Dunn are a pair of Texas billionaires who spent the last 25 years using their vast resources to influence Texas politics and make Texas somehow even more conservative. And eventually they plan to use that as a springboard to their long-term goal of replacing the current American government with a Christo-fascist theocracy. And that is not an assumption. From my biases, the 2 openly refer to themselves as Christian nationalists and are happy to tell anyone who will listen that America has strayed from the path set out for us by the God of the Christian Bible. And the influence that these guys have and just what they've been up to is just kind of insane. And it makes you ask questions like, how could two people get this much power? We've never heard of these guys. And just so so it's a safe bet that everything you don't like about the last couple decades of Texas is at least partially, if not directly, related to these 2. So all these things about book bans, trans bathroom bills, school vouchers, anything about border walls, open carry laws, all the hits stem from their political machine. And so they've installed Texas politicians at every level of Texas government. So from school boards in West Texas to the sitting governor Greg Abbott to multiple failed presidential runs of Ted Cruz. And essentially what they do is they have this unique approach where they don't really focus on flipping blue counties to red. Because as is evidenced by the continued presence of Ted Cruz, that just doesn't really happen here. You're not going to flip anything. So what these 2 have been doing is just defeating incumbent senators in primary elections. And they just prop up these far-right candidates who will just say whatever they want them to say. And it tends to make their establishment Republican opponents look like they call them rhinos, Republican in name only.
Yeah.
So These two have mobilized an army of conservative think tanks and super PACs to disseminate these report cards to Texas voters that rank sitting politicians by how conservative they are, which also translates to how well they follow the orders of Wilks and Dunn. And so,
yeah, I feel like I've seen these, like, or this. I don't know if I've seen like their work specifically, but like that, it like the right has the money on the right has like the opposite playbook as the money on the left, where it's like, we will make the people closer to the center. We will smear them as communists and extremists because they support a watered down version of our message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas like on the left, it's like, we support the people with the watered down message because the real message is too scary for us.
Yeah.
And it's communist. Like, everyone's just afraid of being called a communist. Like,
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it is funny how both sides are just running in opposite directions from the fucking term. Yeah, so like these guys, I guess we got to get into like their backstory. It's these two men, like I said, Tim Dunn and Ferris Wilks. They are both oil magnates. They made their money in oil and energy. One of them through fracking, which we'll get into, which is pretty interesting. So just like anything you can like do that's just bad, these guys have done it.
Yeah. These are super villains.
Yeah. Super villains for sure. So I want to talk about each of them individually. So first of all, Tim Dunn. Tim Dunn, I feel, is the bigger threat of the two in the sense that he seems like way more capable of being like a face for this movement. What's funny is this guy props up politicians for a living. I listened to a few interviews with the guy, and he's way more charming than any Texas Republican I've ever seen him put forward.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder why. I guess he just wants to have his money and not, like, he wants people in his pocket to make the decisions, but he doesn't want the job.
Well, like, I think he's very much in the thing of making decisions. They do what he wants them to do. He's just a tall, good-looking West Texas. He's like 73 years old. He's in good shape. He has a cool, slow drawl when he talks, and he was talking about faith-based stuff on one of the podcasts I listened to about him. And if I knew that this guy wasn't in charge of just like the top 10 things making my state shit to live in, I might be like, this just seems like a cool guy. I may disagree with him on what happens after you die, but he just seemed very easygoing. If he was like a regional manager, like one of those things that you wouldn't even know you were getting fired, he would come in.
A guy you'd get along with if you didn't know this stuff about him. I guess I'm wondering why he doesn't just run.
Well, and that's what I think. Well, actually, he talked about it. To get into his personality a little bit. So he talked about how when you receive wealth from God, you are essentially being put as a steward of that wealth and what you do with it. And he said, I guess maybe to give some credence to what you said earlier, he's like, my skill is getting things that are still in the idea form and getting them up and running and handing them off to people who are more detail oriented. So I guess it does fall in line with what you had said. But he was talking about business.
So he's like a venture capitalist for God.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going around investing in, God gave me this money and I'm here to like seed the stuff that's his will.
Yes.
That's my role.
That feels like exactly it. And the scary things about these guys that we'll get into several times over is they fully understand this idea of like, that usually is like a good philosophical thing that you like to hear when people say, plant trees that you will never sit in the shade of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these guys understand
but
that.
But this guy's his planting trees is cutting down all the trees.
Yeah, like fuck, like it's insane. It's like again, and this happens all the time. I'll see how like the tenacity of just the shittiest folks over on that side of the aisle and be like, damn, I wish there was 1/10 of that over here where these guys are breaking fucking rules and playing dirty. But no. This guy clearly, he keeps saying that he's making 100-year plays. He's making 100-year plays, and he really is. So to get into this guy's backstory, he grew up in Big Spring, Texas, about 40 miles northeast of Midland. He said he grew up with 3 older brothers in a cramped house. He now lives in a mansion within a roughly 20-acre walled compound near the northern edge of Midland. So nearby is the non-denominational church where he regularly delivers sermons as a minister. The Dunns are one of Texas' wealthiest families. They acquired inexpensive oil leases in the Permian Basin years before fracking made it possible to extract oil and gas from fields previously thought to be in decline. So as a political power broker, he, like I said, he mostly operates behind the scenes, but he's routinely writing 6-7-figure checks to people. And this is again by his own words. This isn't like an assumption. Dunn said he believes we're in the midst of a holy battle that pits Christians against those he refers to as Marxists. He claims they want to control all property and take away freedom. Marxists are, quote, increasingly becoming bolder and more brazen in their quest for tyranny. It's becoming clear they want to kill us. The founder of Marxism, he argued, wasn't Karl Marx. It was. You have a guess, Kath?
Let me say the king of hell himself, perhaps.
You're fucking right. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. It's Satan. Satan was like, what if everybody had like equal access to resources? Like, a real Satan thing down there.
It's so funny. Like, obviously, like the joke is like, boy, I wish all the things they said about Democrats were actually true of Democrats. But the other thing that they always say that I think is so funny is they're always just like, the Marxists are becoming more powerful and becoming more brazen. And I was like, the Marxists have never been less powerful.
Yeah.
Like, dude, even if you were worried about this for real, you got nothing to worry about. We have been taking L after L. Like, it's fine. Like, you got Zoran, I guess, but like the rest of it, dude, non-stop L's. For like 100 years. You won. You won.
Yeah, union membership is at 10%. You know what I'm saying? Like,
not even. Yeah. It's like
it's
crazy. It's nothing. We're lucky we still have an 8-hour workday. Like, we rolled back everything. Like, my God.
Dude, I mean, another thing great about unions today, I was scheduled to work 4 10s and an 8 this week, as I am every other week. Had to get here to record. Left at 8. Nobody could say shit. I was just like, hey, guys, I'm leaving at 8. Obviously, you keep that up enough. You keep that up enough, a contractor can send you back to the union hall. Like, hey, do something else. Do something else with this guy. But it was just cool. A little union perk that happened today. So, so Dunn, as he said, politics, work, and religion all run together. He said, I have very deliberately unsegmented my life. He said in a podcast, this is what I listened to today. It was hosted by Ken Harrison, the founder of Promise Keepers. Promise Keepers is a Christian men's organization that I had to go to a thing for when I was a kid. And
I think we talked about it on the toxic masculinity episode.
Yeah, and it was just a weird ass fucking place. And those guys, it's a fucking grift and a racket, dog. And those dudes just travel the country. They all know each other. They just go up there and they have the little fucking thing they came up with that ties back to the book they're selling, and it's just whack place. Well, the brand has been rejuvenated in the second in like the Trump era. Apparently, it had gone defunct for a while. Promise Keepers, and it's back, baby.
It's back.
And so this guy, this is the one I listened to. And he said, I don't have one approach in business and another approach in ministry and another approach in church. I work for God, and God has given me a bunch of jobs to do. Sounds whack. Like, damn, God, you couldn't handle that, dude. You're literally omnipresent, and I got to do this shit. So, but in the past 2 years, Dunn has become the largest individual source of campaign money in the state by far. Until recently, his main tool for exerting influence has been the Defend Texas Liberties PAC, to which he has given at least $9.85 million since the beginning of 2022. So all of his PACs and his super PACs, they all have like names where you're like, how could you possibly disagree with that?
Right.
Like, which is just
Keep Texas cool.
Yeah.
What?
Teach Texas
we
how to.
love Texas.
Yeah. Donate to Teach Texas How to Kick Flip, and you're like, I'll teach Texas how to kick flip. That sounds cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he like Defend Texas Liberty, Texans for Fiscal Responsibility, which to oppose means that you're just like, oh, are you for fiscal irresponsibility? And you're like, now I got to give a nuanced answer, and everybody's gonna go to fucking sleep while I talk. Like, it's such a great jousting tool. So they gave $9.85 million at the beginning of 2022. Nearly all the money he contributed to Texas races over that span, and the majority raised by the committee. The Political Action Committee targets Republicans, many of them quite conservative, whom it deems insufficiently loyal to the organization's right-wing agenda. And Dunn is, he's definitely, like, he's not, like, they say a lot of donors are just there to kind of like, they pass out a check, you humor them with a conversation for a little bit, and they're on their way. This dude is not it. If he gives you money, you're in. Like, you're his.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
His buddy on the other side of the coin here today is his buddy Ferris Wilks. So this guy is actually one of a pair of brothers. His brother Dan Wilks. However, his brother Dan, less involvement in politics and more just kind of involvement in the business aspect of things. But they both run this church together. But this is Dunn's partner Ferris. So he was the son of Myrtle and Voy Wilks, and he was born in Cisco in Eastland County, Texas, east of Abilene. Their father was a bricklayer, and the family was destitute. I hear this all over the place, and I don't know, like, this sounds like one of those details that's just too juicy to be real in a biography, but they showed the place. The brothers said that they spent the first 6 years of their life in a goat shed. Oh, no. Like, goat shed sounds like you took, like, the word shack and were like, how do we pour this up? And you ran it through, like, a jargon machine and it said goat shed.
It feels like a little, like, because they're super Jesus-y, and it's like, I feel like you're like jocking Jesus a little.
That's the nativity,
bit,
dude.
like,
I didn't even think about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like, you can't also be born in a manger, man. Like, it feels a little, like a little bit of heresy in there, a little bit of.
That's wild, yeah.
You know.
So the brothers Christ, their dad was a bricklayer, and so they began their career as stonemasons with their dad. And they founded Wilks Masonry in 1995. In 2002, they were like, hey, well, we know rocks. And what is fracking if not just go through rocks at a weird angle? And so they understood the physics of rocks, I guess. So they launched.
I guess that's what you need to know to frack. I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no clue. I mean, I say that with a sneer on my face. Well, fucking after they created their company Frack Tech, fast forward 10 years and they cashed out for $3.5 billion. So what am I like?
That is like, it's so smart to be like, okay, we're going to make a company that has all the technology and infrastructure to do this thing that is currently illegal.
Yeah.
But we know eventually some politician will be greedy enough, and once they are, we'll be able to jump right in.
Yeah. Dude, that's like, show the cops your pristine meth lab. You're like, not a single chemical here. You can't get me this shit. This is just a glass tube that goes around in a circle.
It becomes legal.
Yeah. So these guys, the two guys, both Dan and Ferris, just to put this in perspective, are both like in the top 15 of richest people in America, or richest like businessmen. Yeah. So these aren't just like these little bit players, man. Especially Dunn, the previous guy. These guys are like among the wealthiest people in America. So thusly among the wealthiest people in the world. These aren't just like regionally rich guys. So Ferris, he sold out to $3.5 billion to Singapore-based firm Temasek with their fracking organization. He has acquired more than 672,000 acres of land in 6 different states. He's the 12th largest landowner in America. So
wow.
Yeah,
he probably owns like, because I just remember hearing, about King Ranch in Texas. Like, so if you're listening, you don't know, King Ranch it's the biggest cattle ranch I think in the U.S. It's this huge like heritage cattle ranch, and it's in Texas, and it is as big as the state of Rhode Island. Like just this ranch is as big as Rhode Island. That's how huge it is. And they're not the largest landowners in the country. So like that's how much land these people own. They own a state's worth of land. A small state, but a state nonetheless.
Yeah.
Rhode Island, small for a state, large for a lot.
Yeah.
Large for like a lot of land.
Yeah. Like you had to mow Rhode Island, like that'd be
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. If you had to mow Rhode Island, it would be a bitch.
Yeah. I'd be like, fuck, I gotta mow Rhode Island. Like, what are you doing this weekend, bro? You ain't gonna believe this shit. I gotta mow my brother. He owns Rhode Island. I gotta mow Rhode Island. And he's fucking ripping me off too, man. Like this. So a little bit about his land ownership, just because of how of note it is. As early as 2016, Dan and Ferris Wilks began purchasing large quantities of land in central Idaho, mainly in Ada, Boise, and the Valley counties. They restricted access to the locals with gates and with anti-vehicle ditches, and with no trespassing signs appearing soon after their acquisitions. Now, because they have public land out in the west part of the country, and it's like that's like a concept that's baffling to Texans. I can imagine this type of Texan being like, wait, what? like, what do you mean land that it's just for anybody? Because they started blocking off all the fucking snowmobile trails and a main road that was the only access to public lands. So if you want to get through public lands, you got to go on their road. Well, no, not anymore. You can't cut firewood there. You can't hunt. You can't go snowmobiling. They have their fucking private security thing. It's called DF Development. It's a security.
Oh, you're getting fucking airholed if you try to getting sniped. You try to go in there.
They're about to ventilate your ass, dog.
Yeah. It's over for you, dude.
Yeah, breeze is gonna come by, gonna sound like fucking wind chimes, bro. This is gonna be rough. So basically there was like all these video that came out of an armed and uniformed DF Development security guard expelling an outdoorsman from a public road.
This is something I feel like we might have talked about this on the show before, but like that. Not like, yes, we have public land in the US, but the way that public land works in other places is so different than how it works here. Like in a lot of other countries, they have things called like the right to roam, where it's like you're like always, even if it is privately owned land, you're allowed to like walk through and even in a lot of instances camp on people's land as long as you're not like extracting resources from it. You can move through it. And it's a big thing in like Northern Europe. Like they all have these laws where it's like, you can't prohibit like an outdoorsman. This, like an outdoorsman. You can prohibit them from hunting and stuff, but like you can't just like say they can't be there if it's just land. Like
you can't stop salt life, bro. Like
exactly.
You can't stand in the way of salt life, dog. Or as they would call it in Germany, Saltenleben.
But this is also like, it is a big thing with beaches too, because like there are a lot of places in the US where up to the high tide line is public. So you can walk along the beach as long as you don't cut through someone's property to get to the beach. You can be on the beach anywhere. And these people spend tens of millions of dollars on these houses right on the beach and then are so mad when we can roll up with like our fucking shitty dented up cooler full of like Natty Light or whatever, and they can't do anything about it. And it's awesome.
That is tight. I do like that. Guys, let's do an LCS meetup. Let's just go fucking bomb a beach, or like by bomb or crash a beach. Is better thing I mean to say. And I didn't mean to say bomb, but like crash is what I meant to say. Let's not get arrested here.
I just thought bomb a beach because I've been watching that surfing show. I just thought we're gonna take some sick waves.
That's what they've been doing, dude. So you said you came to the conclusion they were dumber than wrestlers.
They're so stupid. Dude, you'd have to like, this episode would get so long if I went into all the stuff about surfing. My boss watches this show and she also loves it. And I told her I was watching it and she put a meeting in our calendar so that we could talk about it.
That's
we were like, it's so good. They're so stupid. You just get a lot of concussion surfing and you get them while you're underwater and can't breathe. So like your brain is getting like doubly fucked up.
Oh no, that is terrifying. Yeah, and I'm starting to think of like just some real like guys who I guess in my head I'd be like, oh, that guy's just sunbaked, but nope, just fucking persistent brain damage.
Yeah, that's the thing is like there's a stereotype that surfers are really chill and like they're kind of not. They're just like have CTE. Anyway, this would be like a whole bonus episode of me telling you about surf shit. I honestly did try to see if I could find any surf scams, but I could not find any. So if anyone knows of any surf scams we could cover, let me know.
Anyway. Please don't send us a screenplay to Point Break, okay? Not falling for that. Not falling for that again. All right?
Not falling for that again. That'd be a good April Fool's episode. I thought cover Point Break as if it's real.
I've thought about April Fool's episodes before. I wanted to
we have enough time until the next one that people forget about this. So I feel like it's fine. We can do Point Break.
Fucking smoke up, bro. Go surfing. Fucking hit the wave on your head. Don't forget our episode idea. All right. So Dan is also, both of these guys are pastors. It's something that I feel I should say. Both of them are active pastors in their community at churches that they essentially own. But the wild one that has bought up a ton of land in Cisco and like the local community doesn't quite know how to take is the Assembly of Yahweh Church. And this is basically in 1947, a group of parishioners, the Ramsey Church of Christ, were defellowshipped after a doctrinal dispute. Who knows what kind of shit they were advocating for. But So the church founded a new group called A Church of Christ. Not Church of Christ, just A Church of Christ.
Just one of them.
Yeah,
just one of them.
I don't have a Church of Christ, let alone mini Church of Christ. That would necessitate a Church of Christ rack.
We're not saying we're the Church of Christ. We're just, you can be one too. Everybody can be one.
My sitcom is clearly titled A Big Bang Theory. Like that's Some Friends is what I call the show. But anyway, so they went out and crept up, and they eventually dropped down in De Leon, Texas. And in 1962, they adopted the name Church of God (parentheses Seventh Day), which is like a rap album or like Church of God Seventh Day. So currently, the Assembly of Yahweh is a conservative Jews for Jesus type congregation, and it teaches that the true religion is Jewish, not a Gentile religion, and its members celebrate the Old Testament holidays rather than those related to the New Testament. That's crazy when the New Testament is woke. You're like, I can't.
So this is their church?
This is Ferris Wilks' church. They each have their own church. This is just
It's crazy to me to be a Christian nationalist who's also a Jew for Jesus. Like,
yeah, I don't.
Are you like an anti-Semitic Jew?
So
like,
if I'm not mistaken,
Jews of yourself as a Jew.
I think Jews for Jesus is so Jews for Jesus certainly is an organization where people of Jewish descent are now born again Christians. That's real. But I believe there is a strain of it where it's where they place an emphasis on Old Testament teaching and the
right. It's more like it's like Black Israelites, but for white guys in Texas. It's like we're the tribe, we're the people. Yeah.
Speaking of white guys,
I'm sure that's wrong. I mostly just said that to be funny.
Speaking of white guys in Texas and the Black Israelites, a friend of the show, JT Kelly, who's just one of the most bizarre human beings. I love him to death. We're great friends, but JT is a character and a half, and fully leads into it. And he has been weaseling his way, and not even weaseling is the word, but ingratiating himself with the Black Israelites and having them on his podcast. And now they have let him go preach with them on the street, and he's just yelling at white people in downtown Austin. And if you know JT, he's doing it for the bit. I think he is. I don't know, but he's shaved.
I hope he is.
I hope
he
is.
Fucked up, I think.
Yeah, that's a weird organization. He just said he's fascinated by him, but he shaved his mustache. He said he Pat Saroyced it because he had a mustache that went down over his lip, and he was like, I had to show him the upper lip, playboy. I fucking shaved it off. Yeah, now that I say that sentence out loud, that is kind of weird. You know?
You just figured it out.
Yeah, I'm like, he's doing the Black Israelites. I don't know. The video,
I think they're like bad. I think they like think bad things.
They do, and he I've seen episodes where he's talking with them, and he's like kind of engaging them on these topics. But the one, I think he just convinced them in his JT way to be like, let me come out in the street with you. And the video is just him yelling at white dudes. So it's kind of funny. But check out, I don't know. Or don't check it out. I don't know. That was just like, I'm just a weird guy. So things like that are just funny to me that someone's even doing
character,
that.
man.
He's a character.
JT's a character. Yeah. We support him on his journey, whatever it is.
Whatever that guy's journey is. But so anyways, so what makes with these guys is essentially they kind of have the idea that they have the right to control society. They think that their money and influence can just buy them this can buy their will to being manifested, and they really believe.
Okay, I think this is like kind of the Black Israelite thing. Is it's like they're like anti-Semitic in the sense that they believe that Jews control everything, and then they're just like, and we're the Jews.
And we're
like we're the ones who get to control. Like they're anti-Semitic in like a really weird way, where they're like, all this stuff is true, and I'm gonna be the one who's in charge of it. Like
it's like the astronaut shooting the astronaut. Like we were the Jews the whole time. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh
anyway.
Man, that's great. So these guys. We would call Wilks and Dunn Christian nationalists. It's a term, obviously, people who want to be, want America to be a Christian nation governed by Christian principles. Obviously, it's always like when it's like, oh, Christian principles, which ones? Like, oh, the bad ones, don't worry about it.
Not like the cool ones. They're not like checking out the money lenders or whatever. That's not what's happening.
But now these are the people, I don't know if you've heard this thought process, where they talk about the separation of church and state. This strain of Christianity believes that the founding fathers intended for separation of church and state to protect the church from the state, but not act as a barrier for the state to the church. Like the church should be able to influence the state, not vice versa.
Permeable one way, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they think it should be. So in Christian nationalist, a lot of people sounds very negative. I think it's a negative term. But Ferris Wilks would tell you that he goes, Christian nationalist is it's a convenient way to describe how I think. He said it pretty much checks the boxes. So, but what's interesting about this, a little bit of background on this, is that like, as far as Christian nationalists, it stems out of this movement, and this is what these guys believe, is known as the Dominion theology. Basically, is known as Dominionism. It's a group of far-right Christian political ideologies that basically think that, according to Genesis 1:28, when they said that God said, "Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish and the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." And so, it's kind of funny to see somebody's character would like implicate how they interpret this verse. Because one of the documentaries I watched, they used to have a black woman that was on their board of directors that would go to the country talking to people with them. And she said she went to seminary school. And she said, and because she was classically trained theologian, when they started talking about this, she was like, I realized they thought this gave them the carte blanche to rule the world. She's like, because they thought they were righteous men. And she was like, I read that as we should be stewards and caretakers of the world. And it's just so funny how a person, just like who you are as a person determines how you dictate that Bible verse. Because this woman was like, take care of everything around me. And these guys were like, own it. And it just that right there kind of tells you what you need to know about these guys. But
yeah, it's interesting. Like I saw somebody put it this way recently, but it's kind of true because I was a religion major at college, and like she was saying how if you like tell me about what a society values, and I will tell you the God that they have invented to rule that society. Like that the what is the divine comes from how the society is set up, which is like a really common anthropological principle where it's like you have an agricultural society, you've got a grain god, a sun god, and a like rain god. Like that, you know, like you got a hunting society, you got a hunting god, and you leave animal sacrifice, like all that kind of stuff. And it's like an American god would be dominionism, right? It would be this idea of like that is what it means. It is like if we're given dominion over the earth in our culture, that would mean subjugation and resource extraction. It would not mean responsibility for, because that's not the culture we live in. Like we don't live in a culture where that means that. You know what I mean? So
that's very true. Yeah, because that's what these guys. That's what they heard. So when
they grew up in Texas oil country. Of course it means extract value from the land. It doesn't mean protect the land. They're oil guys. Like, of course they think that. You know what I mean?
It's real scorpion riding the frog kind of deal, you know? Like, well, like when he was listening to the interview with Tim Dunn, what he said was he was like he said, so part of your reward in heaven will be that when you get there, people will invite you into their mansions. That's a huge thing in this side of Christianity is you get a mansion up there, which is just fucking hilarious. Yeah. Like imagine the idea that you can even quantify what you get into a word makes it kind of suck. Like,
it's so like childish when you describe it as like it's like saying there's like Xbox in heaven or something.
Dude,
it's like shouldn't we be beyond, like, isn't it supposed to be like ecstasy beyond needing stuff? It's like no, your house is sick.
And like also I've heard other Christians in the Baptist church that I went to say all you do all day is praise God, and I was like that sounds whack as shit. And they're like
That's
wait
boring.
till you see him, he's so cool. So, but yeah, these guys. So he was saying that he was like, when you get to heaven, what they do is they fucking they shower. You get invited to people's homes, and they shower you with gifts that you received from your like in reciprocity for what you did in your life. And so he said you really need to calculate that into your charitable calculations, like what you're going to get in the afterlife. And like which to me, and he goes look at Jesus. Jesus left his comfy place by his father's side, and he went down to the common place and went and had a very horrible experience. But as a result, he was made king. He was made king of all earth. So look at what he went through, and now he's a king. And I was like, in my head, I was like, who gives a fuck about being a king? Like, how is that where you need to be? It just kind of let me know everything I need to know about this guy. Like, I don't view that as aspirational to be like, I was in charge of everything now. Like, A, it sounds like a real fucking hassle. And B, it just like, that's not what my aspirational, especially on a spiritual level, which I'm not a spiritual person. So like, when I think of that, I certainly don't think of this thing where if I'm good in my life, I'm a fucking king in some other world. That's insane to me. And if you believe that, well, you shouldn't be allowed in your fucking schools. It's just weird as fuck to me. I don't like it at all.
It really like reduces Jesus' sacrifice if you think about it that way, because it's like, it's not a sacrifice, it's a transaction.
Yeah.
It's like he went through this horrible experience so that he could have a sick throne. It's like, no, he went through this experience because he loves us. And like he sacrificed, like it's supposed to be, he did this for you. He died for you, not he died so that he could become the king of heaven. Like, he did it to save your soul. Like it just makes it into like Jesus did a good deal. Like
you think the art of the deal too. My second favorite book. These guys, like, their view of Christianity is fucking weird to me, but they have this thing called the 7 Pillars Mandate, and this is where we get into like what the actual rubber to the road of their actions look like, because they are known as the 7 Pillars or the 7 Mountain Mandate is an idea in Christian dominionism that basically to take control of a society, you need to take control of these 7 mountains. But the reason it doesn't say that in the Bible. In the Bible, it just says in Revelation, and by the way, so far we've quoted Genesis and Revelation. When people start talking about the Bible and they bring up Genesis or Revelation, walk away. It's like that is the most, because on one end nobody knows, on the other end nobody fucking knows. That is just made up. They're about to pull some bullshit. Genesis or Revelation. It is kind
of like it's like entry level cuckoo stuff.
Exactly.
It's like you didn't read like it's funny because like the people who are super into Genesis and Revelation like this, they're like the hardcore Jesus heads, and like he's not in those ones.
Yeah, no,
those are the ones he's not in.
That's the fucking
talk about the stuff he did. Like, why are you talking about?
We're looking at a fucking Star Wars Christmas special over here.
Revelations is fucking wild, dude. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
If it wasn't encoded into our culture and we just like found it, like if it were like a book of like Mayan spirituality or something, people would be like, I feel like hippies would be like fringe hippies would be converting to it with like DMT and stuff. But it would be like way out there, man.
It's insane. But in Revelation 17 verses 1 through 18, verse 9 reads, and here's the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, the 7 areas that seek the movement. Oh yeah, that's the other quote. The 7 heads are 7 mountains. So they look at these things as 7 ways they can not infiltrate, but if you control these things, you control a society. And it is family, religion, education, media, entertainment, business, and government. And they believe that their mission is to influence the world through these 7 spheres. So they use strategic spiritual warfare, adherence to gain control of the 7 mountains, and all this stuff. So followers believe that by fulfilling the 7 mountains mandates, they can establish the kingdom of God on earth and bring about the end times. So that is when they talk about the...
That's the thing with these people, too. They always just want to bring about the end times.
They don't fucking like it here.
They don't like it here. They don't want to make it good. They want to end it.
They just want to fucking end it. Well, Charlie Kirk once said that Donald Trump is the president that most understands the need for the 7 mountain mandates, and so it's kind of sucks, but like so as with the where they really try to flex this on these 7 mountains. Obviously, now they've given money to PragerU for entertainment shit. But the following presidents have like are these politicians are also involved in this shit. Our seven mountain people: Michelle Bachmann, Lauren Boebert, Ted Cruz, and his dad Raphael Cruz, Mike Johnson, one of the Chief Justice of Alabama Supreme Court believes in this shit. So some people would say this is similar to the ideological state apparatuses that a Marxist philosopher by the name of Althusser, a Marxist scholar by the name of Althusser, talks about how you take over these things and you can take over a society essentially.
Yeah.
But people said they probably what's what they modeled it on, which is very funny that it's a Marxist principle.
That is funny that they were reading Althusser and they were like, he's onto something here. We would definitely, put him in a camp if we were in charge, but he was really cooking with that one.
Yeah, for sure. So what this all boils down to is what this looks like on the ground floor. Is last December, this is a guy named Sid Miller. He was the Texas Commissioner of Agriculture, and he posted a photo of himself brandishing a double-barrel shotgun on X, formerly known as Twitter, and invited his followers to join him on a rhino hunt. Miller had taken to stumping in the March primary election against incumbents that he deemed to be rhinos. Not long after that, he received a text message from one of his targets, a state representative named Glenn Rogers. And Glenn Rogers told him, "You are a bought and paid for pathetic narcissist. If you had any honor, you would challenge me or any of my Republican colleagues to a duel." Like, hell yeah, bring that back.
Going right to the duel.
Yeah.
This is what's like so wild to me about like, I do believe that there are hypothetically reasonable, intelligent, non-malevolent Republicans who just want things to be better for everyone and have a different idea about how to do that than I do.
Yeah.
I think theoretically those people exist. What I don't understand is why any of them would be in the Republican Party, because this is the thanks you get.
Yeah.
If you're just like a regular conservative, other people in your party are going to threaten to come shoot you. Like, why haven't they left? I think a lot of them have, but like, I feel like a lot of them just kind of rolled over and were like, I guess I'm a Trump. I mean, look at like JD Vance. Like, he called Trump like American Hitler or whatever. So many of these people have just totally rolled over, and it's like they're gonna come for you.
Yeah.
They only want other psychos like this, like that, and if they're gonna drum you out if you don't do exactly what they want. It's wild to me.
Yeah, I don't know what they would like. It feels like such a smaller space for just a reasonable person to be there. So it makes you look at everybody and be like, well, what do you do? What are you doing there then?
How are you not humiliated if you're smart? Like, I think about that with like, people in my like extended family who were like sort of Republicans, but not stupid, like, and not angry. Like, they weren't driven by spite. They were just like, I think taxes should be lower and that kind of stuff. And maybe we're like a little socially conservative, but whatever. But they all were like, after Sarah Palin, they were like, I can't vote for these people.
Yeah.
Because like,
oh, that's so tight that they jumped off then, man. Because I know I have so many people in my circle that went fucking deeper. Like,
people just double down.
Yeah. Well, I like my dad.
So weird.
My dad loved Sarah Palin. He just thought she was hot. But like, but
she was like fun.
Yeah,
like, she was like a fun personality.
That was one of those things.
Especially looking back compared to how things are now. Like,
to,
she was a hoot. Whatever. Give her a talk show. I don't care.
I said it before. If I didn't have to contend with these people as being in charge of my country, I wouldn't have a hatred for them. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, that guy. Like if Trump just wandered in front of a camera every 2 or 3 weeks and was like, whoa, I'd be like, this guy, he's crazy. Look at him. Like I wouldn't care.
This is how New Yorkers feel about Eric Adams, where we're like, we do not want this man to be the mayor anymore. Like he needs to stop being the mayor. But we wish we could like create a cabinet position for him to just like say funny things.
Yeah.
He says funny things all the time. And like Trump would be great at that if he could just be America's commentator,
Yeah. Let him like mouth off on X. I don't give a shit. So Rogers, this guy, so he's a 68-year-old rancher, grandfather of 5, and he's in a rural district west of Fort Worth. He was proud to serve in a legislature that, as he told at the time, couldn't be more conservative if it tried. Since entering office in 2021, he co-authored legislation that allowed Texans to carry handguns without a permit. He supported the Heartbeat Act, which grants citizens the right to sue abortion providers, and voted to give police the power to arrest suspected undocumented migrants in schools and hospitals. And he's kind of a soft-spoken guy, they say, which is kind of odd thing, is that so many guys are like debate me guys now, But the viciousness of the primary season had been getting to him, and nearly a year before the March elections, ads began to appear in Rogers' district saying that castigating him simply not as a rhino, but a closet liberal who supported gun control and Sharia law. They even
they love to go to Sharia law. It's like, so funny. None of them know what that is. Like, they truly do not know what that is. It's so good. This like random white guy in Texas, he loves Sharia law.
That's nothing I love more than just the law handed down by the God of the Quran. They at one point they photoshopped him, and he has a signature white cowboy hat, and they photoshopped his head under that cowboy hat onto a headshot of Joe Biden. Ouch.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't
brother.
come for a Texans hat, dude. That hurts. But all of these fucking attacks, and especially ones against his came from his Challengers campaign, but they were all funded by the Texans for Fiscal Responsibility, the Texas Gun Rights Act, the Texas Family Project. By the time voters headed to the polls, they could have been forgiven for thinking that Rogers had disappointed a suite of conservative groups. But it was all just this, like, there was 9 groups that were all ran by the same guy. They're like, all these think tanks. It's like, which is crazy that they can do that. So, of course, as we know from our campaign bribery episode with Jack Frazee, Texas has few limits on campaign spending. So Dunn in recent years has outspent them all. Since 2000, him and his wife have given more than $29 million to candidates and PACs in Texas. Wilks and his wife, who've donated many of the same PACs as Dunn, have given $16 million. Last year, Dunn and his associated entities provided 2/3 of the donations to the state Republican Party. So,
wow. Just 2 guys, 2 families.
2 guys. And their ambitions...
2/3 of the donations. Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
And their ambitions are obviously greater than Texas because they at one point gave the largest presidential campaign to anyone. It was $15 million to one of Ted Cruz's failed ones. They gave $4.7 million in seed money to the Daily Wire, which hosts the Ben Shapiro show. And obviously tons of stuff connected to Project 2025. And so... But Rogers believes that he provoked the ire of Dunn and Wilks for 2 reasons. He refused to support a school voucher bill that would funnel taxpayer dollars into private schools, and he voted to impeach Attorney General Ken Paxton. So they came for his ass, and the onslaught worked. Rogers lost his seat by 27 percentage points, and more than 24 state house candidates backed by the 2 billionaires prevailed this spring. That was in 2024. These challengers received...
Does this at all... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Weirdly, conversely, I feel like this stuff makes me feel a little bit hopeful in a way because I'm just like, it can feel so frustrating to feel like these, it's completely insane, nonsensical, just delusional political beliefs are so dominant, it can make you feel crazy, but it's because of 2 guys. You know what I mean? It just makes me feel a little bit I know a lot of people vote for this, but I just can't believe that that many people actually knew what they were voting for. And I feel like people get mad when you say that because oh, well, it lets them off the hook or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but people are throwing millions of dollars at them to make sure that they don't know what they're voting for.
Yeah. It seems
I don't know. I just am a little I don't think people like this all that much.
I don't think so either because they and some of the things I was watching, they were talking to people in rural West Texas districts, and what really is getting them is that these guys essentially they have they knocked that guy the fuck out of the office. But what is starting to
and to be fair to they did do it by saying he was a commie liberal.
It's
not like people.
Yeah.
It's not like more people agree with me, but it's just they're being manipulated. You know? Anyway, sorry.
I like I said that is something hopeful about that. I do see that, but my thing is, so if you're wondering what they're doing this about, I think it all boils down to the thing that they got homeboy for, Roger Miller, because they were it was these school vouchers. That's what they want. So this is what they've done. Everything that you kind of hate about Texas.
Is this their main thing, you think?
This is where they're at now. It's the school vouchers program.
The school voucher thing.
And so obviously they've been targeting trans kids. They've been made it illegal for the Texas schools to honor the gender preferences of children in the classroom. They were behind that dumbass litter box bullshit law.
Oh yeah. Again, a thing where it's people are voting based on a email forward from 1997. It's just this thing that isn't because did you hear about what that actually was? Where
it was the thing for if there's a shooting that happened. Nightmare shit.
Anyway, I'm sorry I keep interrupting you.
No. That's what they're doing. So they you can tell what they want really is they want the future. They want to incrementally control more and more of what each generation is taught and thusly thinks and feels. There's a school voucher thing. We all know what this is. A school voucher, it's an education voucher where they'll pay for you to go to a private school. And this is not new. This started happening as soon as they integrated public schools. these things came up as a way for white parents to get their kids out of mixed schools and send them to these private schools. But what they're doing now is that the reason that they want this, and this is my opinion, of course, but the reason they want this is because this is that 100-year play. You get kids in there.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say they're going to indoctrinate kids. Not every kid's going to be going to a Christian academy, but it's going to normalize a whole bunch of this train of thought, and it's going to normalize not questioning it and it just being the way that it is. And they're going to slowly just move that shit as time goes on more over to their side of the thing and allow them to set up this theocracy in their mind that they see as being the ultimate end goal of what they're doing. And so that's why they're attacking these people in these very unglamorous political positions. Things like, railroad commissioner, school, the school board meeting, stuff like that doesn't really seem all that sexy. It's because you start loading that's what really affects your day-to-day life. And then next thing you know, it's like, you're like entire generations are going by where this is just the Texas they've lived in, and it makes sense. And they're way more willing to vote for a candidate that has for a presidential seat that can alter the course of history. So that is that story of Tim Dunn and Ferris Wilks, two Texas billionaires who are just, in my opinion,
two guys who are fucking up all of your lives.
Yeah, fucking up all of your lives. And I've heard, I know it's people have a complicated relationship with Texas right now. It's very psychologically important for me to be proud of where I'm from. I kind of have to have that. Checked out in America a long time ago, but I love Texas. I spent my whole life here. Yeah. All the coolest people I've ever met lived in Texas. Every woman I've fallen in love with has been from Texas. All the most diverse people. All of my trans friends are from Texas. So there's good people here, and there's just a few bad people in charge, and I think it's having an outsized impact, and it's really just kind of fucking up our psyche. And I just hope we can get through it, man. But these guys, these two dudes, Tim Dunn and Ferris Wilks, are just a wellspring of information that I think you should look up, and it'll really show you just kind of who's pulling the strings behind all the things you're seeing in the State House right now. People say a lot, and the numbers back it up. Most Texans don't agree with this shit. Most people, and I think what I wanted to end it on that's going to really fuck it up. If the school vouchers have a run at the Texas education system the way they intend to, is Texas football. It's going to be Texas high school football. That is the heartbeat of so many small towns. Even if you hate that school spirit shit, you have fun there. You walk around. Me and my friends used to skateboard behind the fucking scoreboard and fucking smoke cigarettes. And we were like fucking jocks. This shit's stupid. But where were we? We were there. We were seeing our friends. We saw our people. That is not going to be a thing, because nobody wants to watch a fucking private Christian academy play a private Christian academy. They want to see real people.
You don't have
playing
civic
football.
Pride in the same way.
Yeah,
it's true. Texas is such a special place. It really sucks that it's ruled by some of the biggest assholes in the country. It's fucking awesome. I wonder about because all the far right is trying to make a play at basically dismantling public education. They don't want poor people to be able to read. I really think it goes that far. I think they are helped by people not being functionally literate. And it makes me wonder, though, if maybe learning stuff will become cool. Because
there you go. Yeah, it'd be like smoking.
It's so lame, and whatever you do at school you don't want to do, and whatever your teacher's telling you is sucks. So maybe it'll be like read this secret banned book, kid. Piss your teacher off. I don't know. We got to figure out a way to make learning stuff cool. They've been trying for centuries and it hasn't really worked. Learning stuff is always going to be kind of lame, but
it's on us. It's on me and you, Kath. We'll get to the bottom of it, guys. Drop some ideas. Thank you guys so much for listening today. Worth it? Clearly not. Don't do any of this shit.
No, man.
Be cool. Be safe. And check us out online. We are at patreon.com/liecheatandsteal. Find us online. We're at Lie, Cheat, Steal Podcast on all the socials, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Look for us. Check for us. Leave reviews. Leave a like. Holler at us on Patreon. Have fun. Be safe. Be smart. But above all, don't get caught.
Don't get caught. See you next time.